Hi dear students. So previously we discussed the second kingdom of living thing, that is your plant kingdom, right? And also we discussed the first group, non-flowering plants. So as you all know that plants are very important for us, right? Plants are like the superheroes of our earth. They give us oxygen to breathe, food to eat, and medicine to heal us, and even materials for like shelter, clothes, and furnitures. And also I told you that scientists have discovered over 380,000 species of plants on our planet. That almost like saying if every plant species were a person, they could fill a whole mega city, right? Okay, so let's move to flowering plants, the second group of plant kingdom. Okay, so today we are going to open the door to one of the most magical groups of plant. And let's say that 90% of all the plants on earth are flowering plant. That means almost every plant you see around you, from your lunchbox vegetables to the tree around your house, belongs to this group. Okay, and scientists have, you can say, gave flowering plants a special name, angiosperms. Okay, it sounds tricky, but it just means, angio means vessel, like a container. Okay, and sperm means seed. Again, just like we discussed in our previous lecture, the gymnosperms, right, the naked plant seeds. But if we talk about these angiosperms, the flowering plant, there are angiosperms. Okay, and angio means vessel, like a container, and sperm means seeds. So the angiosperms are like the plants with seed inside a container, and that container is the fruit. Okay, isn't that clever? And that's what makes flowering plants so special. Okay, they grow flowers, they make fruits, their seeds are safe inside fruits, and that's why flowering plants are everywhere. And now let's talk about the flowers themselves. Okay, why do plants make, you can say, plants bother making them? Are they just for beauty? And my answer is no. Flowers are not only pretty, they are like the factories for making seeds. Okay, and here's how it works. Flowers produce pollen. Okay, the powdery stuff you sometimes see come out of the flowers. Okay, that is your pollen grains. And insects, and you can say insects like bees and butterflies come to collect the nectar, juice, sweet juice in the flowers. Okay, that is in the petals. And as they move from flower to flower, they carry pollens with them, and this is how the pollination occurs. Okay, and due to this pollination, you can say this helps the plant make seed inside the flower, and then you can say the magic happens. The flower changes into the fruits with the seeds inside it. Okay, for example, if we talk about the apple blossom, right, apple has a small white flower and it becomes an apple. Okay, and the mango flower turns into a mango fruit. Okay, so flowers are not just decorations, they are nature's way of making new plants. Okay, let's talk about the, you can say, seed in detail, the seed structure. Okay, a seed looks simple, but inside it is a complete, you can say, baby plant waiting to grow. It's like a packed suitcase for a long journey. Amazing, isn't it? And if we open a seed, we find three important parts. Okay, the one is your seed coat, the second one is embryo, and the third is cotyledon. Okay, what is now seed coat? It is a tough outer coating. Okay, it is the outer coating, you can say, like a raincoat protecting the baby plant from damage or drying out. Okay, and what is embryo? Embryo is like a baby plant inside. It has a tiny root and shoot parts that will grow when the conditions are right. Okay, and then comes the cotyledon. What is a cotyledon? It is like a, you can say, stored food that feeds the baby plant until it can make its own food using the sunlight. Okay, I can just give you, you can say, a thing to do, like take a bean seed. Okay, soak it overnight and carefully peel it. You will see the seed coat, the two food halves like the cotyledons, okay, and the tiny plant inside. It's like the opening a treasure chest. Okay, and okay, not all the seeds are same. Okay, scientists noticed that some seeds have one food part and some have two. So flowering plants are divided into two big groups. Okay, again there are groups. One is your monocot and then second one is your dicot. Let's discuss the monocot. Mono means one. Okay, monocot seeds have one cotyledon and its special features are like their leaves are long and narrow with veins running parallel like a train track. Okay, if you closely observe the leaves, they are parallel. Okay, their veins are parallel. And if we talk about roots, it has fibrous thread like roots that spread out like a net. And if we talk about their flowers, you can see here in the picture like the parallel leaves you can see here, right? And if we talk about their flowers, the petals are in the group of 3, okay, or divisible by 3. And if we talk about the examples, you can take the grass, corn, wheat, these tulips, okay, and rice, banana, palm trees, lilies, onion. There are several examples of, you can say, monocots. Okay, they have parallel veins, leaves, okay, and they have fibrous root like thread like roots, and you can say their petals are in a groups of 3. Okay, just remember that monocot, mono means one, and you know cots mean cotyledon. Okay, and they have one cotyledon means one seed leaf. Okay, most of our food grains like wheat, rice and corn are all monocots. Okay. Okay, let's discuss the dicots. Okay, if we talk about dicots, di means two and cot means cotyledon. Okay, so dicotyledon have two seed leaves. Okay, dicotyledons have two seed leaves, and if we talk about their leaves, they are broad with the branching veins, as you can see here in the picture, the leaf of the dicot. Okay, and let's talk about its root. If we talk about its roots, they are tap roots that grow deep, very deep, with the smaller roots coming out. Okay, and if we talk about their petals are in group of 4 or 5. Okay, and fruits, they usually contain, you can say, seeds. For example, beans, sunflowers, roses, carrots, apples, tomatoes, etc., etc. Okay, and you can compare a bean with you can say bean leaf with grass. The bean has net like veins, okay, and the grass has parallel veins. That's the difference between monocots and dicots. Okay, so you have to observe that, it's your task. All right, and okay, before we finish, let me, you can say, tell you some amazing plant facts. Okay, so you can see here the giant redwood, the tallest flowering plant in the world, over 300 feet tall. You can say taller than a 30-story building. Amazing, isn't it? And then come the tiny wolffia. Okay, the smallest flowering plant. It's the smallest flowering plant. Its size is, you can say, it's the size of a pinhead. So you could fit 50,000 wolffia plants in a teaspoon. It's so small. And then comes cacti. If we talk about cacti, singular, we can say it cactus. Okay, and these desert plants store water in their stems like balloons, and they help them survive the long dry periods. And plants are also called like the lungs of the earth because they take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and without them we wouldn't be alive. So now plants are, how much plants are important for us, right? And so just have a quick review and wrap up of today's lecture. So today we discussed the flowering plants, in which we discussed angiosperms. What are angiosperms? The seeds inside the fruit. Okay, the seeds that are present or they are enclosed inside the fruit are called angiosperms. Angio means vessel or like a container, and sperm means seed. Okay, So angiosperms are the seeds that are enclosed in fruits or flowers. Okay, and flowers help plants make seeds with the help of pollinators. Okay, and seeds have a coat, an embryo, and a food supply, cotyledon. Okay, food supply, that is your cotyledon. And then you can say there are two types of flowering plants as well. One is your monocot that has one cotyledon or one seed leaf, and second is your dicot that has two cotyledons or two seed leaf. So plants are amazing, right? From giant redwoods to tiny wolffia, they are amazing. Okay, so let's end our lecture here. We'll see you in the next class. Bye.